Tonight, stimulus checks are making their way to Americans. We're hearing from an expert on ways you can capitalize on the extra money.
Plus, there's a new push for Minnesota's governor to suspend rent and mortgage payments during the COVID-19 pandemic, what it could mean for you.
But first, new layoffs announced. This time, it's for workers at U.S. Steel's Keetac mine on the Iron Range.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. U.S. Steel is laying off employees at its mine in Keewatin.
This comes less than a month after U.S. Steel announced it would be idling some operations in other parts of the country in response to COVID-19. According to a letter sent out by USW Local 2660, operation employees who have worked at the mine 3 years or less will be laid off effective April 19th. Meanwhile, maintenance employees who have worked there 3 years or less will continue working until the outage is complete. According to the letter, the tentative plan is to have Keetac shut down by the end of May. The letter also states that union leadership is working to negotiate a layoff minimization plan with the company. Calls to U.S. Steel were not returned as of this afternoon. No word on exactly how many employees this will affect. Now, this comes just 2 days after Cleveland Cliffs announced they are laying off nearly 500 employees at the North Shore mine, which impacts miners in Silver Bay and Babbitt. The company said that decision was made due to poor market conditions prompted by COVID-19.
Meanwhile, Minnesota-based Best Buy is laying off 50,000 workers. Starting Sunday, the layoffs will impact the company's hourly employees. That includes nearly all of Best Buy's part-time staff. The financial blow has also led the company's CEO to cut her salary in half. Some Best Buy stores have closed completely during the pandemic. They've also stopped in-home deliveries and installations. Employees at the Duluth location tell us about 70 employees there have been laid off. We also learned today Duluth's Goodwill is temporarily laying off nearly 300 employees tomorrow. The nonprofit's 12 Northland stores have been closed since mid-March due to COVID-19.
COVID-19 stimulus money has started arriving in millions of Americans' bank accounts. If you make under a certain amount, that means a $1,200 check from the government, and even more if you're married or have kids. CBS 3's John Cardinelli spoke with a financial advisor today and tells us how to capitalize on the tax credit.
I spoke with Scott Walschlager, president of Midwest Professional Planners. He shared some tips on how the money could be used to its full extent. Whether you're struggling to pay the bills and been laid off or have a little bit of financial flexibility, no matter what situation you're in, he says it's important to have a plan. Rather than going out and spending it on anything, Walschlager recommends analyzing your financial status and spending the money on critical expenses first. For those who have debt, he recommends paying creditors who have rights to your property, such as your house or car, first, so it doesn't get taken away. Secondly, he said pay credit cards as it is unsecured debt, meaning nothing can be taken away from you. Walschlager recommends making the minimum payments with this money because you can stretch it out for a long time. He also offered some advice for those who might have some flexibility.
It might be tempting when you get this check, if you still have a job, to go spend that money or pay down a credit card or something. But I think it'd be really smart to maybe sit on that cash and wait till things have really started to stabilize or improve.
He also added that for those who have at least 3 to 6 months cash in an emergency fund, it would not be a bad idea to invest money in the stock market as long as you have the financial means to stay in it long term. And coming up tonight at 10, we'll hear from a local business owner how she plans on spending her stimulus check, and we'll also have more tips on how to use that check wisely.
All right, thanks, John. And you might be wondering when to expect your stimulus payment or if you'll be getting one. The IRS has set up a tracking system. We have a link to that on our website, cbs3duluth.com.
New at 6, local government officials across Minnesota are calling on Governor Tim Walz to suspend rent and mortgage payments during the COVID-19 pandemic. In a letter to the governor's office, officials say that, quote, mass displacement, home foreclosures, and the shuttering of businesses are imminent unless aggressive measures are taken immediately. They are asking the governor to take additional actions to prevent evictions during the pandemic. Now, last month, the governor issued an executive order to prevent residential evictions, but the governor added that the tenant still has an obligation to pay rent.
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz says the state has the lowest rate of coronavirus infection in the country. He cited that statistic as evidence the state's stay-home order is working. The number of cases in Minnesota is growing, but health officials say it's staying steady with no sudden spikes. And that's good news for hospitals. The governor thanked Minnesotans for doing their part and says if things continue this way, the state will be able to start slowly lifting restrictions and let people get back to work. For people out of work in Minnesota, you now have access to an extra 13 weeks of unemployment benefits. It's part of the CARES Act passed at the federal level. You don't have to apply if you're already receiving unemployment.
We've also been getting a lot of questions from viewers about Minnesota's governor about how Minnesota's governor extended his peacetime emergency order on Monday. It's important to note that it's not the same thing as his stay-at-home order. Here's the latest on Minnesota's dates to remember. The state's stay-at-home order is in effect until 11:59 p.m. on May 3rd. That's also when bars, restaurants, and other public attractions have to be closed until. Students will continue distance learning through the end of April. On Monday, Governor Walz extended his peacetime emergency order until May 13th. That order gives Walz special emergency powers during the pandemic.
Governor Walz signed the Alec Smith Insulin Affordability Act this morning. The Democratic governor did it virtually. The bill ensures that Minnesota's diabetics who cannot afford their insulin and are facing an emergency need can access a 30-day supply at their pharmacy for a copay of $35. The legislation also streamlines the process by which Minnesotans can access affordable insulin in the long term. Insulin manufacturers are ordered to participate in the program and could be fined more than $3 million per year for noncompliance. Components of the bill take effect on July 1st of this year.
All right, Dave joins us for a quick look at the weather. Dave, is that warm up on its way yet, or when can we expect that?
Well, I think it's on its way, but boy, it's taking its sweet time in getting here. It was awfully chilly around the region this morning. We'll take a look now at some of the temperatures folks woke up to, and in Hibbing, the temperature dropped to only 6 above. That set another record cold for folks there. That's the third time this year there's been a new record set in Hibbing as far as cold goes, but take a look at Watersmeet, Michigan. Even colder than that, only 1 above, so perilously close to zero. December-style temperatures this morning, even though we're starting to stare May in the face. Well, tomorrow, the process of warming up is a slow one, but it should happen. Tomorrow we'll have low temps in the upper teens instead of single digits. Lunchtime, partly cloudy tomorrow thanks to high pressure coming in, and the sunshine allowed in by that high should push temperatures towards the mid-40s there for our Thursday, perhaps a little bit warmer, upper 40s on Friday. Does that mean 50s are on the way for Saturday? And how about them sticking around through Sunday? Well, those are all things we'll talk about with the 7-day forecast in just another couple minutes.
Thanks, Dave. Minnesota's American Civil Liberties Union branch is suing the state's corrections department, saying inmates at the Moose Lake prison are in danger due to COVID-19. ACLU reps are asking the prison to release inmates. 12 inmates at the Moose Lake prison have tested positive for COVID-19. 31 more are presumed to have the virus. The ACLU claims the prison is failing to keep inmates safe. Corrections department officials have said they're isolating inmates as much as possible.
New tonight at 6, more relief aid will soon be coming to Wisconsin residents impacted most by the COVID-19 pandemic. On Wednesday, the state Senate overwhelmingly approved a sweeping COVID-19 relief package via a virtual session. The bill ensures that Wisconsin can capture $2.3 billion from the federal stimulus bill. This will result in higher Medicaid payments and an expansion of unemployment benefits. Local lawmakers will also be able to allocate up to $75 million in funding. Governor Tony Evers signed the bill this afternoon.
The U.S. Air Force has awarded a fleet of brand new jets to an airbase in Madison. U.S. Senator Ron Johnson made that announcement this morning. The decision comes after a lot of controversy in the Madison community over noise levels associated with F-35s. Duluth's 148th Fighter Wing has also been vying for F-35s to be awarded to their airbase.
Minnesota students are about 2.5 weeks into distance learning. Right now, the biggest question is how long they'll have to keep it up. We asked Minnesota's Department of Education Commissioner Mary Catherine Riker during a one-on-one interview today. As of right now, students are set to continue distance learning through the end of the month. Riker says there's no clear answer on if that will change. She says she's in constant communication with the governor, filling him in on how everything has been going so he can make an informed decision. No matter what, Riker says she feels teachers are prepared for whatever comes next.
As we move forward, as we look to what decisions need to get made next, that our school communities feel that they have some confidence coming out of this distance learning period for whatever might come next.
By the way, Wisconsin students will be distance learning until the state's public health emergency is over. Michigan will distance learn for the rest of the school year.
A Duluth company with more than a century of business under its belt is shifting gears during the COVID-19 pandemic. Duluth Pack has brought all their workers back to the factory to sew hospital gowns for healthcare workers. President and CEO Tom Saga says the company's initial goal is to make 1,000 gowns and donate them to hospitals all over the country. He says it's been tough enough to make the gowns, but luckily another local business, Stormy Cromer, a cap maker in Ironwood, Michigan, stepped up to help.
Very good friends of ours. Bob and I have known each other for many years, and we just started working on supply chain and how can we get materials, how can we get the labor, and how can we pull this off and make it happen so the frontline workers can get what the need is right now, and that's a lot of gowns.
Saga told us these gowns could be used by healthcare workers right here in the Northland.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, it takes a village. That's the message from one Duluth apartment manager who is helping people out in a big way.
And stick around because Dave will have your full weather forecast telling us when that warm-up will arrive coming up next.
CBS 3 News is brought to you by Steel Power Tools.
Coming together makes us stronger. And Ford is built to lend a hand, especially now, with 6-month payment relief. Buy a new Ford. We'll defer 3 payments and make 3 payments for peace of mind up to 6 months. Shop at Ford.com or contact your Ford dealer to find out more about home delivery and other vehicle service options. You have a lot to take care of. Let us help take care of you.
At Super One Foods, we go to great measures to deliver you with top quality meat every day. Try our 80% lean ground chuck for only $2.89 per pound and get Elliot's ham portions for just 97 cents per pound. Plus, we provide the best of the best in fresh produce. Get extra large Dole pineapple for just $1.97 and get fresh asparagus for just $1.97 per pound. Through all that we do, we've got you in mind. Super One Foods, serving you lower prices and better choices.
Attention! This is an important message for anyone diagnosed with cancer after being exposed to Roundup or other weed killers. In 2015, the Internal Agency for Research on Cancer warned that overexposure to Roundup and other weed killers may increase the risk of developing non-Hodgkin lymphoma. More evidence found that Monsanto may have known that Roundup was likely linked to organ damage and cancer. This information was hidden from the public as proprietary trade secret since 1981, and Monsanto may have failed to adequately warn about the potential risk of cancer. A California jury found Monsanto's weed killer caused a groundkeeper's cancer and issued a verdict for $78 million. If you or a loved one was diagnosed with cancer after being exposed to Roundup or other weed killers, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call the Sentinel Group now. Our network of experienced attorneys is ready to fight for you. You'll pay nothing unless there's a recovery in your favor.
Please call 800-627-1826.
A great smile is so much more than just a physical attribute. It's a part of every laugh, adventure, milestone, and connection. At Lake Dental, our team is committed to getting to know you and your specific dental needs. With our IV sedation, forget any dental anxiety and wake up with a new smile. Express yourself confidently with the help of Lake Dental, where artistry is in every smile.
Call Lake Dental today for your free smile analysis.
It's time to lay down your weapons. Who do you want to see? Oh, come on out.
While so many of us are separated from family, it's an episode of Survivor that really hits home.
This is a fantasy come true.
New Survivor tonight, 8/7 Central on CBS.
You have a tooth that Dr. Bowers is going to need to pull out.
Will there be blood?
A little.
Stop enjoying this.
Young Sheldon's back. New Thursday on CBS.
Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live Local CBS 3 Duluth. CBS 3 Weather is brought to you by LifeView Glaucoma Center.
Like a lot of folks, I'm just hoping for the warm weather to finally get here so that greenhouse you see over my shoulder, well, we can finally start to use. Right now, it's just a little bit too cold to put the plant starts out, but eventually things will warm up. There's a slow warming trend coming our way, and just in time, too, because this morning was awfully brisk. Makes one think that how can we be celebrating or honoring or marking Severe Weather Awareness Week when it's so cold? But better safe than sorry. Better to get preps done early than to put them off till the last second. So yeah, this is Severe Weather Awareness Week in Minnesota, and today's topic of discussion, floods, and the best advice is to turn around, don't drown, as folks at the National Weather Service say. For Thursday, tomorrow, there will be 2 tornado drills in Minnesota, one in the afternoon and one in the evening for second shift workers. Folks at NWS Minnesota sure want folks to be aware and be safe. And then come Friday, the topic of discussion will be extreme heat, which we can dream about right now. Maybe it'll come in July and August, but for the short term, 50s will be the best we can manage, and it may take another 2 days to get there. So let's now take a look at what's happening at the airport in Duluth with our current conditions. And right now, up there over the hill in the Duluth area, the current temperature, well, it's not too bad comparatively here this time of year, but it could be a little bit warmer. It looks like our maps are having a bit of a slow time advancing, and eventually they're probably going to go. There we go, finally. Now, that's one of the hazards of working remotely. Sometimes there's a long delay before things start to move. Right now, 30 degrees at the airport. Westerly, northwesterly winds going 14 miles per hour, and the air pressure creeping upwards now at 1,019 millibars as high pressure finally settles into the region to chase away the snowier conditions we've had the past couple of days. And right now, there's still a couple of flurries out there, but those will be going away, hopefully, as higher pressure settles in to bring sunshine for Thursday and Friday. But as early as Saturday and Sunday, that low from the west will come to call, and that will increase clouds and kick up a chance for rain showers, perhaps more on Sunday than Saturday. 50s on Saturday possible, then it starts to cool down again. All right, temperatures tonight, will they cool down as much as they were this morning? Probably not. In Minnesota, we're looking for low temps to go from 11 to 19 for the most towns, and then maybe low 20s for some others. In Wisconsin and Michigan, low temperatures there during the overnight should be 15 to 19 with a partly cloudy sky there, though probably mostly cloudy in Minnesota. For tomorrow in Wisconsin and Michigan, the high temperatures, they are going to go 40 to 45 degrees with a partly cloudy sky. And in Minnesota, it's a very similar range of temperatures as well, maybe from 39 to about 45 degrees with that partly cloudy sky. That's being brought to us by that high pressure cell. And the high pressure cell likely will continue to dominate our sky through Friday, but it's Saturday, the day when things start to cloud up again. Wouldn't you know it? Yeah, we warm up, and that's nice, but we also cloud up a bit. Those clouds will lead to that 30% chance for showers on Sunday, and then another chance for showers on Tuesday. Really is about all the precip we're going to get this week.
All right, not too shabby. I think we can handle it, especially this time of year. Thanks, Dave. During the COVID-19 pandemic, many are using this time as a way to help others in need. With the help of her tenants, one Duluth apartment manager in the Woodland neighborhood is giving back to those who need it most. CBS 3's Emma Quinn shares her story.
Overcoming the COVID-19 pandemic takes a village, or in this case, help from an entire Duluth apartment complex.
Very tight-knit building as it is, so we thought that because we're always helping each other out, we thought it would be really nice to help out the rest of the community.
The person behind it all, Shadow Ridge apartment manager Pegra Cobb.
So I thought, why not do a food drive, and if they see our building do it, maybe the other buildings would follow suit and do it.
Cobb has been volunteering and donating in her free time for years, and she says the COVID-19 pandemic was no exception.
I hear little kids that don't have food, and I talk to the people, different places, and it just breaks your heart that we have food and they don't.
So Cobb asked all the tenants in her 27-unit complex to help by putting bags filled with food outside their apartment doors. She and a few tenants went around the complex Wednesday morning and collected what ended up being about 40 bags and dropped them off at Union Gospel Mission Soup Kitchen in downtown Duluth.
She's done coat drives for us and whatnot. It's fantastic. We need that food because we're cooking differently now too. We've actually had to purchase more food. We're donation based.
For Pegra, giving back to those who need it most just makes sense.
When I looked out in the hall this morning, I started to get teared up because it just let you know that people care. And this is a hard time. Everybody has to stay home. And staying home and being hungry is even worse.
Cobb manages several other apartment complexes, and next week, the food drive donations from those buildings will be going to Chum.
Coming up in sports, Kelly Hinseth has more from a Minnesota basketball player that is breaking barriers and making history.
Take up to 25% off the North Face now at NorthwestOutlet.com.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting nationalguard.com.
Garden mats eliminate 90% of the time spent working in the garden and increase a garden's productivity by 10 to 20%. Garden mats let air and water through, but block sunlight. The pre-measured holes make planting a breeze. We help people grow 100% organic vegetables, weed-free. Garden mats give us our summers back to do the things we love. Go to gardenmats.com.
At Papa Murphy's, we know family time is more important than ever. So we're helping by offering online ordering everywhere and delivery and curbside pickup where we can, so you can keep family time as normal as possible. Papa Murphy's, we're in this together.
For over 80 years, Nissan has been with you through thick and thin. And now is no different. We're offering payment options for current owners. Our service departments are here to help. And now we're offering more help. No payments for 3 months, plus we'll cover your payments for up to 2 additional months. Or get 0% financing for up to 84 months on 13 models. This is help when you need it.
Cover more ground with the fast, durable Kubota Sidekick. Gas-powered for a top speed of 40 miles per hour. Best-in-class acceleration and handling with cargo. The strength to haul a half-ton and tow a full-ton. All backed by a 2-year, 1,000-hour warranty. Get more done right with the Kubota Sidekick. Visit your local Kubota dealer today.
No one serves you better than Lulich Implement.
To us, success is measured by fruitful gardens, vibrant flowers, or beautiful landscapes. Success is knowing that from seed to salad, you grew what's on your dinner table. Locally made natural compost that boosts your soil's growing power. Garden Green. It's at the root of success.
At Marshall, we know that paying independent school tuition is a real commitment for families, and we want to make the Marshall experience possible for anyone who wants to attend. That's why Marshall is introducing community-centered pricing to make the Marshall experience possible for more families. We know that families have budgets, and it's our goal to work within those budgets in a way that makes sense for everybody. When we partner together, we invest in your child's future. Contact us or join us at our virtual open house on April 16th.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
Welcome back into sports. Well, you may have seen reports over the last few days about how Mesabi Range College is making quite a bit of history with their most recent coaching hire. I love this story. Tamara Moore was hired just this past weekend by the junior college in Virginia, Minnesota, by their men's basketball program. Moore becomes the only known woman right now to ever coach a collegiate men's basketball program. Moore surely has the resume to back herself up. The North Minneapolis native was a 4-year starter for the Wisconsin Badgers and was inducted into the Badger Hall of Fame not too long ago. She was a 6-year player in the WNBA as well, spending a season with the Minnesota Lynx during that time.
Right now, I'm the only current woman men's head coach in the country. And I think for me, it's the biggest, it's exciting. I've had a lot of people reach out to me. I actually released the news on my 40th birthday. So it was like a great birthday present. I wasn't able to do much because of COVID, but this was a way for me to celebrate, and it just kind of went like wildfire. And I'm just excited for the opportunity for people to know more about Masabi, know more about me as a coach, because everybody knows me as a player for the most part, but it's going to be an exciting journey.
Here's a little bit more of an in-depth look at what Moore brings to the table from a playing perspective. She was a graduate of Minneapolis North High School. Moore led the Lady Polars to a state championship back in 1998 and was named Miss Minnesota Basketball as well. Following that illustrious high school career, Moore spent 4 years in a Wisconsin Badger uniform, playing in every game from freshman to senior year. And not too long ago, she was inducted into the Badger Hall of Fame. And back in 2002, following that collegiate career, Moore was drafted 15th overall by Miami in the WNBA draft, where she proceeded to play 6 seasons in the league, including a season right here in her home state of Minnesota with the Lynx. Now, this is just a taste of my conversation that I had with Moore earlier today. Guys, I'm so excited for this story. We're going to have plenty more tonight at 10, why she's coaching men's basketball, what she wants to do in the future. It's a really, really amazing story, a story that's been picked up by ESPN, has done profiles on her, CBS Sports. She's a pretty neat lady, and I'm really excited for you guys to see this story coming up at 10.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it, too. You know, we heard her say there that she is the only female basketball coach, and we were discussing a little bit. That's crazy to me.
That's wild, yeah. I would have thought for sure, but apparently not.
I hope she's starting a new trend here.
Yeah, we'll see. Thanks, Kelly.
Tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, St. Luke's carpenters have been making beds to help the hospital prepare for the surge in COVID-19 patients. One carpenter alone has made 26 beds in the past few weeks. Later tonight, we'll tell you more about the beds and how they're being put to good use.
NASA is trying to crowdsource a way to develop mini payloads for moon rovers. The agency is holding a competition called Honey, I Shrunk the NASA Payload. NASA said in a news release, existing payloads are too big and also too heavy. So they need to be the size of a bar of soap to fit into the rovers. The payloads would send resources to potentially support a sustained human presence on the moon. There are 2 award categories for the competition: Lunar Resource Potential and Lunar Environment. The first place winners for each category will be awarded $30,000. Those interested should submit their proposals by June 8th. I'd love to be able to submit a proposal, but I think to do that, you need to know a little bit about math. We're journalists, which means we know almost nothing about math until we absolutely have to dig into budgets and stuff like that. So
but anytime we have stories about NASA, you get really
I love NASA stories.
About it. I think you should submit something.
I'll contact an architectural firm or engineering firm and see if they can help me.
Go for it, Tony. Live
try.
your dreams. All right, thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 10.
CBS